Archangel Michael says, a wave of answers has already begun its descent, and you're at the center of it. There is a holy silence that speaks louder than cries. It is the silence you've held on to, even when your heart begged to scream. The heavens have finally responded to the words you didn't say, they heard them all. There are forces in motion right now, energies unseen, and decisions being made on your behalf. Behind your back, meetings have occurred in the spiritual realm, because your quiet suffering has drawn powerful attention. What you chose not to react to, not to defend, not to explain, those silences became your strongest prayers. Heaven has not forgotten you. And now, the truth will be shouted where it was once whispered. The ones who mistook your silence for weakness will be the ones trembling in disbelief. Type Amen to get blessing 472. What was hidden behind closed doors will come crashing out into the light. The secrets, the intentions, and the truth that was muffled by manipulation are being uncovered. Your soul has waited long, but divine timing never fails. The people who thought your quietness meant defeat never expected what's about to come. The words you swallowed, the emotions you tucked away, are now being answered in ways even you couldn't imagine. You were never ignored, your silence became a spiritual command. A shift in your reality is happening. The battle that was being fought behind the veil is being won in your name. Everything you let slide will return in righteous balance. Type Amen to get blessing 598. Archangel Michael says, the silence that carried your pain is now becoming the trumpet of your breakthrough. Those nights of quiet prayers, heavy breathing, and hidden tears were counted, and each tear was a sealed petition in the kingdom. Do not think for one moment that your quietness was weakness. It was strategy, divine silence. And now, the divine response is an uproar. All that was meant for harm will now be rewritten in your favor. The people who turned away when you needed them most will soon face their own spiritual mirror. The universe is balancing every ounce of energy. And you, the silent warrior, are being called forward for your reward. Type Amen to get blessing 664. There are whispers being carried in your name. Some whispered to harm you, but the heavenly court has now overruled them. Every lie, every accusation, every doubt sent your way has been returned back to the sender. The voices that tried to override your truth are being silenced. Justice is walking toward your door in silence, but her footsteps will thunder. You were not supposed to win, but you are about to. You weren't supposed to survive what they threw at you, but here you are, and now, they're beginning to realize they were wrong about you all along. Type Amen to get blessing 302. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks. With contributions of up to $20, you have no idea the power your silence has had. You withheld chaos with grace. You could have exploded, but instead, you ascended, and because of that, heaven moved. Doors are about to open that were once locked by envy and deception. Blessings are being rewritten to your name with new intensity. Your spiritual file is being reviewed. Your faith has triggered an avalanche of outcomes that can't be reversed. And those who tried to manipulate your timeline are being spiritually removed. Type Amen to get blessing 919. Archangel Michael says, there was a trap set for your downfall, and it almost worked. But something divine intercepted it in silence. Your name was pulled out before it hit the ground. Heaven has watched you walk through valleys of silence, and now it's lifting you to the mountaintop. The same people who laughed in your absence will gasp in your presence, because the next chapter of your story has already been anointed. This elevation is not normal, it is divine. This blessing is not random, it is targeted. This moment was earned through the loudest silence ever heard. Type Amen to get blessing 741. What they meant to bury you with became the soil for your rise, and now, your silence will be louder than any scream ever could be. You're not just receiving blessings, you are becoming the blessing. They are watching now, the same ones who said you were finished. The same ones who tried to erase your name. And what they're seeing now is your glow up. You are no longer the person who kept quiet to keep the peace. You are the chosen one, awakened, anointed, and unstoppable. Your silence was the sword. Type Amen to get blessing 333. You felt invisible for too long. But the heavens never took their eyes off you. The answers are arriving, and they are bold. Everything that tried to stop your progress will now serve as the fuel for your elevation. Your stillness has summoned a move of God that will change your entire environment. There are people whose faces will fall when they realize you were the one being blessed. They thought your delay meant defeat. But the delay was divine development, and the outcome will be nothing short of miraculous. Type Amen to get blessing 825. A miracle with your name on it has been prepared quietly, it's about to manifest loudly. The breakthrough that took years to arrive will happen suddenly. The enemies who laughed at your patience are about to witness your promise. The ones who ignored you when you needed support will now need you to survive. And heaven will remind them that silence isn't weakness, it's alignment. Don't be surprised when you feel your energy shift, that's not coincidence. It's the moment when the spirit realm makes contact with your reality. Things are changing, not slowly, instantly. Type Amen to get blessing 117. Archangel Michael says, the reward you're about to receive cannot be denied by human hands. It's not given by people, it's issued from the throne, and that throne has noticed your silence. You didn't retaliate. You didn't beg, you just stood still. And now, your stillness is commanding the attention of multitudes. They'll wonder how you stayed so calm, but only heaven knows the storm you endured. And now, it's your turn to walk in light. Type Amen to get blessing 588, the phone call, the message, the unexpected visit, it's coming. Not from who you expect, but from who is sent. It carries the answer to your hidden prayer. You won't need to prove anything anymore. Your name has been verified by the divine. Everything meant to discredit you is dissolving. This is your era of revealed answers. Every silent sacrifice is being returned with loud favor. Every closed door is swinging open at the sound of your name. Type Amen to get blessing 703. You did not go unnoticed. The ones who passed you by will be stopped by your glory. The silence you held on to has become the thunder of your destiny. You didn't complain when you were overlooked. You didn't curse those who mocked you. Instead, you let heaven take record, and now, heaven is taking action. The vindication you never asked for is arriving. And it will speak louder than anything you ever could have said. Prepare, because peace, power, and provision are locating you now. Type Amen to get blessing 914. The shadows you walked through have been replaced by light. the silence you held on to has been transformed into strength. And now, that strength is attracting abundance. You are no longer hidden, you are no longer quiet. You are being revealed, by divine design. Let them watch, let them wonder, let them recall every moment they thought you were done. Because now, they'll see the full glory of who you truly are. Type Amen to get blessing 456. Your silence was your greatest weapon. And heaven used it to fight battles you never even saw. The outcome? Victory that shocks even you. Everything that's been on hold is being released. The blockage is gone. The breakthrough is scheduled. Now is the time. Your answers are no longer pending. They're arriving, one after the other. Type Amen to get blessing 383. The tables are turning, and you're not just at the table, you are the honored guest. The spotlight is no longer on your pain, but on your purpose. Your journey hasn't been easy, but it's been watched. Every step you took in silence was documented. And now, the scrolls of heaven are releasing rewards in your name. Get ready for doors to open without knocking. Get ready for favor to locate you without chasing it. The waiting is over. Type Amen to get blessing 220. Your name has entered new realms. Realms where favor flows freely. Realms where your voice echoes, even when you whisper. The silence is over. The answers are here, and they carry the weight of every unspoken prayer. Celebrate this moment. You earned it with every breath you took while carrying silent pain, and now, the heavens roar in your name. Type Amen to get blessing 999. You never needed to defend yourself, the silence you carried was your armor. And now, those who tried to strike at you will realize they were swinging at air, because you were divinely protected the entire time. Your silence caused a stir in the spiritual realm. Angels were dispatched, not because of what you said, but because of what you withheld. And now, their presence is clearing the way for an unexplainable rise. The pain you carried in silence was never wasted. It created ripples in realms you couldn't see, but now you're walking into the results. What was done in the shadows is being repaid in the light. Type Amen to get blessing 776. You didn't ask for sympathy. You didn't demand attention. Instead, you sat in the quiet and waited on divine order, and that patience is about to birth a testimony. The people who thought they could dismiss you are about to witness your elevation. They called you invisible, but heaven was watching, and now, everything is changing before their very eyes. There is a spiritual trumpet blowing. And your name is echoing across timelines. The promise is alive, and it's now stepping into your present. Type Amen to get blessing 101. Archangel Michael says, don't be surprised when the very ones who caused your silence come back with apologies, because their spirits will be convicted by your light. Your silence did what no argument could ever do, it revealed their true intentions. The delay was divine, not denial. The time of silence was to separate you from confusion. And now that you've endured, clarity will come in waves. Everything is aligning. Not because you fought, but because you trusted. The heavens are proud of you. And now, the reward will match the quiet suffering you carried. Type Amen to get blessing 344. You are walking into rooms prepared by your resilience. You are being welcomed into places you never even applied to. That's the power of heaven responding to silence. The voices that tried to tear you down are falling silent themselves. Because the elevation happening for you is making them reflect. Your stillness shook them more than any storm could. They didn't know the strength behind your quietness. But now, it's too late, you've already crossed into victory. And everything you lost during your silence is being restored in double. Type Amen to get blessing 582. Your name is on scrolls in places where honor is written in gold. You are being seen by heaven, not just for your pain, but for your posture. You didn't break down in public. You rose in private. Those who plotted your emotional downfall are now confused, because the version of you rising today is not who they left behind. You are spiritually evolved, and your presence will speak volumes. Don't hold back anymore, the silence is complete. Now, let your light speak the rest. Type Amen to get blessing 229. Everything that you sacrificed in silence is growing in secret. You are about to step into the harvest. A harvest so divine, your past won't even recognize you. They tried to make you question your worth. But heaven has stamped you with favor. And no voice can drown that out anymore. Your journey was not forgotten. Your name was not lost. It was being polished for such a time as this. Type Amen to get blessing 818. The people who didn't believe in you will now pretend they always did. But it won't matter, because your blessings are not for validation, they're for elevation. You're not here to explain your glow, you're here to live in it. The heavens have confirmed what your soul already knew. The answers are here, and they're bigger than you imagined. Bolder than you hoped. And more precise than you prayed for. Type Amen to get blessing 337. Archangel Michael says, a reversal is taking place. Every plan that was spoken against you is unraveling, and you don't even have to lift a finger, just walk forward. This is the evidence of divine silence working in your favor. The answers are not just verbal, they're visible. People will see the light on you before you even speak. The time you spent misunderstood will now be the reason people admire you. You didn't fight for attention, now attention is finding you. Type Amen to get blessing 199. The one who tried to humiliate you will need your help soon. The very doors they tried to shut in your face, you will walk through them, and they will still be stuck outside. That's the power of silence honored by heaven. You didn't stop believing, even when nothing made sense, you kept holding on. And now, it's happening. Not in fragments, in fullness, not through struggle, through grace. Not by noise, by divine justice. Type Amen to get blessing 515. You were never forgotten. You were simply being protected. Your silence placed a covering over you that no weapon could pierce. Now, your name is showing up in conversations of favor. Now, your destiny is being accelerated. And no voice of envy can stop it. The light of heaven is following you into rooms that once shut you out. Watch how people start to shift when you walk in, not because of what you say, but because of what you carry. Type Amen to get blessing 727. You are chosen. You are rising. And nothing can reverse it. The heavens waited for the right moment, and that moment is now. The atmosphere around you is changing. And all the energy that tried to break you is now bowing to your breakthrough. the silence you endured gave birth to a power that can't be hidden anymore. You are about to be elevated in front of the very ones who doubted your voice. Type Amen to get blessing 394. No one saw what you sacrificed. But the divine did. And now, the rewards are coming, wave after wave. It won't make sense to those around you. Because they didn't see the battle behind the silence. But heaven did, and heaven is responding. You are stepping into a new identity. One that carries authority, peace, and divine respect. Because your silence was louder than any storm, type Amen to get blessing 666. They tried to provoke you, to pull you into chaos. But your calmness killed their control. That is why your peace was so dangerous to them. And now, your peace is about to become your platform. Your stillness has become your power, and your story is about to be told through blessings. You waited. You trusted, and now, you will see. The answers are not coming, they have arrived. Type Amen to get blessing 555. The silence you held in sorrow is now a sound of celebration. The same mouth that stayed quiet will now laugh in freedom. You are no longer in waiting. You are in receiving. Prepare for a wave of open doors. Unexplainable favor. And spiritual surprises. You passed the test that most failed. You stayed silent when chaos begged you to speak. And now, silence has unlocked everything. Type Amen to get blessing 808. The atmosphere around you is changing permanently. Nothing will be the same after this. The things you silently hoped for are now becoming visible realities. Let them talk. Let them wonder. Your silence already did what their words never could. This is the power of divine reversal. This is the reward for your quiet endurance. And nothing, absolutely nothing, will be able to block what's next. Type Amen to get blessing 111. You've waited long enough. You've stayed quiet long enough. Now, let the heavens show them why. You're not rising by accident. You're rising because the divine kept a record, and now, all of heaven is releasing the answers your soul cried for. Celebrate, chosen one. Your silence has spoken, and now, the universe is echoing back with blessings too big for words. Type Amen to get blessing 3333. Everything that once seemed delayed is now flowing toward you with divine urgency. What took years in silence will manifest in moments of favor. What you surrendered without a sound will return multiplied. This is not just a restoration, this is a spiritual refund. Heaven is paying back everything stolen, delayed, or denied. And your soul will know peace in ways it has never tasted before. The silence you once cursed is now the soil of your miracles. The empty spaces you walked through are being filled with divine glory. And the coldness you endured is being replaced with warmth from heavenly fire. Type Amen to get blessing 922. You didn't chase, didn't beg, didn't scream. You simply stood still and let the divine move on your behalf. And that stillness unlocked the supernatural. Now people will wonder how your life shifted so quickly. They'll question how you went from invisible to unshakable. But the answer is simple. The heavens heard what the world ignored. Your patience did what force never could. It rearranged your destiny without noise. And now it's your time to receive, not explain. Type Amen to get blessing 674. Archangel Michael says, Every room where you were once overlooked will become a stage for your celebration. Every person who walked away during your quiet storms will regret not staying, because now, the rain is turning into rain. The divine spotlight is now on you. And your silence will echo louder than any shout ever could, because it wasn't just quiet, it was prophetic. They thought nothing was happening. But under the silence, a miracle was forming, and now, that miracle is undeniable. Type Amen to get blessing 421. This isn't just your next chapter, it's your divine unveiling. The spiritual crown prepared for you during your silence is now being placed on your head. And the world will watch it happen. You were not buried, you were planted, and now the bloom cannot be stopped. Your presence will now disrupt every space it enters. The spiritual vibrations around you have increased, that's why some people feel uneasy near you now. Your silence has been converted into power. And that power can't be faked or copied. Type Amen to get blessing 300. The lessons you learned in silence will now serve as divine wisdom. The peace you protected will now become your shield. And the blessings you prayed for silently will now surround you loudly. You are no longer in hiding. You are no longer silenced. You are being called forward by heaven. There's no more waiting. No more withholding. The release is here. Type Amen to get blessing 7777. You have become a force the enemy can no longer confuse. The attacks that once left you broken now bounce off your spirit, and your silence built this shield. When others crumbled, you kept your posture. When others shouted, you kept your peace, and that peace has purchased your next season. Heaven is about to make a scene. In your honor, the earth will witness what the Spirit already are now going before you. They're clearing paths that were once blocked. They're opening gates no man can close. And you, the one who stayed silent, will now speak only when led by truth, not pain. Your voice has power because it waited until heaven released it. Type Amen to get blessing 661. People will say it came out of nowhere, they'll say they didn't see it coming. But you'll know, it came from the silence. From the surrender, from the waiting. You were never forgotten. You were strategically positioned, and now, the gates of favor are bursting open. Your story is being rewritten in front of the same eyes that misread it. Let them watch, let them wonder. Let them witness the glory. Type Amen to get blessing 402. There are places your name is now being mentioned. Opportunities, rooms, hearts, and gates are calling for you. Not because you shouted, but because you trusted. Your silence created a frequency heaven could respond to. A soundless praise. A voiceless cry, and that cry moved divine hands. Now the heavens are responding in waves of provision, love, peace, and protection. And this is only the beginning. Type Amen to get blessing 848. You've been faithful in obscurity. You've been loyal in loneliness, and now, you're being rewarded in full view. The shift in your atmosphere is irreversible. The heavens have released your portion, the earth has no choice but to deliver it. Everything that once resisted you is now working for you. And everyone who overlooked you is now seeing your light. Type Amen to get blessing 373. Your silence created thunder in the spiritual realm. While others were yelling, you were yielding, and heaven responds best to yielded hearts. You are now walking in answers. The very things you wrote off as impossible are now unfolding with ease, because heaven has removed every barrier. Archangel Michael says, the delay was never denial, it was preparation. And now, what you couldn't explain will be expressed through abundance. Type Amen to get blessing 144. Let go of everything that tried to convince you silence wasn't working. Because now, the results are louder than the doubts ever were, the evidence is undeniable. You are now marked by glory. You carry a divine seal that cannot be tampered with. And those who mistreated you during the silence will be silenced by your blessing. This is not revenge. This is redemption, the kind only heaven can orchestrate. Type Amen to get blessing 290. Your silence made you stronger than storms, you passed through fire without the smell of smoke. You stood still, and that stillness summoned armies. Now the world is about to meet the version of you that silence built, the healed version. The elevated version. The divine version, and nothing, absolutely nothing, can dim that light. Type Amen to get blessing 773. From this moment forward, the silence is no longer heavy, it's holy, you are not wounded, you are walking in wisdom. You are not lost. You are led. Let this be the last day you doubt why you had to be quiet, because the glory you're about to walk in will be too loud to ignore. This is your announcement, not by your mouth, but by your life. Your silence has spoken, and heaven has answered. Type Amen to get blessing 8888.